Hi guys, it's Nyla Dye here from Love Now TV, helping you to transform fear to love and reminding you of how powerful you really are. In this video, I want to discuss the impact our thoughts and words have on us, on our bodies and on our power. So, as I've talked in the past, my mother has dementia, and the way her dementia sort of takes place is that she loses track of time and her short-term memory goes and she forgets things. So I noticed that she would forget the food that she's eaten, or that she would think that the fresh food is food from a while ago and think the food was old when it wasn't. And so what would happen is, and this happened every single time, each time she stopped and said, this food is old and it's not going to, it doesn't agree with me and so forth, she would kind of eat it begrudgingly, and then she would start to heave and sort of be like wanting to be sick. Sometimes she would be sick, and I would eat the same food and nothing would happen to me. And I knew the food wasn't old and I knew it was okay. But every single time she affirmed it wasn't okay. She said those words, they were instructions to her body, and as a result, she couldn't digest it. She would, she would literally heave and be sick. And that is the power of the words that can impact our bodies. And we don't realize it. We can so unconsciously say things over and over again, affirm things that hurt us, or continuously talk about being tired, or this is what's wrong with me, focus on the aches and pains which then kind of manifest and expand, because we don't notice the impact that's having on us. And I'm not talking about denying how you feel or ignoring how you feel, but the sort of regular things that we affirm over and over again that focus on what we don't want as opposed to what we do want. Now, another great example of the power of thoughts on us and our power, how easy it is to lose it by what we say. So I've shared in a previous video, the time I got hijacked on an aeroplane when I was a stewardess many years ago. Now, here's the power of thought in action. I go into the cockpit, not sure of what's going on, find out it's a hijack, become petrified. Already knew as I walked in that something terrible was happening, but wasn't sure what. We were then told, we diverted the plane to Beirut, and we wanted to land, but the air traffic controllers wouldn't let us land. And we were forced to land in a strip of land next to the sea without the help of air traffic controllers, because they just didn't want to be part of the hijack. So you can imagine, I'm listening to all this, and it's all in English, so I could really understand it fluently. And I was getting more and more afraid. And the thought I had was, oh my God, am I gonna die like this? I was only in my 20s and I was petrified. And then suddenly another thought popped into my head. And the thought was, if God wants me to die like this, then so be it. And as soon as that thought came through, I completely calmed down. I surrendered to the reality. I stopped fighting it. I accepted what was happening. And the person who came out of the cockpit compared to the person who went in was a very different person. And I decided, my job is to take care of my passengers, and that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I did. Now, the hijack lasted 3 days, and we went around to various different countries. But that one thought sustained me in terms of the surrender and acceptance. I never once felt fear for those 3 days, to the extent that I was able to take care of my passengers I was able to sit with one of the hijackers and actually have a conversation and say, you know, when my mother hears about this, it will kill her. What about your mother? And, you know, he was able to tell me that he would be revered, he would be honored for the part he played. And I even went on to sit and write my diary. Like, I wrote my diary on a regular basis, and I would always write, you know, it always helped me to write how I felt, and any angst or upset I had, it was just always kind of therapeutic for me. And, you know, there was lots of waiting time in different countries. And I sat and I wrote my diary. Now, for 3 days, that one thought sustained me, and I never felt fear. And then we were free, and I remember hugging my roommate and just feeling her, and then just crying my eyes out. I might have had a delayed reaction, but I cried and cried, and I released what, you know, tension there was in my body. And then I wrote my diary again. And when I wrote my diary, I wrote, who is this person that showed up in the hijack? Because that is not me. I am a shy, insecure, fearful person. And that's who I became again. Now imagine that. Here I was, brave, courageous, totally in my power, by simply surrendering to what was, in acceptance of a God or a higher power, that if this was my life, so be it. And I felt no fear. And then I disowned this person. I disowned the me that showed up. And I said, no, I am fearful, insecure, and shy. That's who I am. And that's who I became again for a long, long time. Because I was so identified with this is who I am. Now, we're never one of those things. Yeah, I was insecure, I was fearful, I was shy, but I'm also brave, I'm also courageous, I'm also capable. I'm a lot of those things. But we can limit ourselves by thinking we're just one of those things or a few of those things. But the real power is lost through what we affirm and then identify with and believe to be true. In my mother's case, she genuinely believes the food is off, or is not really off, but it's old, and somehow her digestive system can't handle it. And because she believes it to be true, even though it's not, her body says, okay, yeah, we can't handle this. Here, have it, be sick, and, you know, confirm what you believe. And if we continuously affirm the negative stuff about us, that will feel very real. Oh, I can't do this. I'm not capable of that. Oh, I've always been like that. That's just bullshit. They're limiting beliefs that we're not awake to. We don't question, we don't challenge. It's almost like we're asleep and we are reinforcing them. But life is telling us, hey, you're more than that. And be mindful of what you say. Be mindful of what you affirm, because what you think you will feel, and that's what you'll experience. Now, that will be what you will experience in your working life, about yourself and about your capabilities and about your colleagues, about guys and relationships, about your health, about your weight, about your self-image, about who you are. So I invite you to slow down and become present. Listen to the words that come out of your mouth, what you affirm, what you believe, and wake up. Because you're so much more than anything you identify with and anything you believe. And think about it, because it's so easy to lose the power and it's just as easy to feel it. So why don't you go in that direction rather than the thoughts and feelings that disempower you and give you a very limited version of who you really are? I hope this was of some help for you, and if you like the videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.